Ever had one of those moments where you pause, really pause, and wonder, is this all there is? You're sipping your morning tea, the world hums around you, and suddenly a strange thought sneaks in. What if the reality I live every day is just a tiny ripple on the surface of something far deeper, far older, something timeless? Welcome, my fellow wanderer. You didn't just stumble upon this. Something brought you here. Maybe curiosity, maybe restlessness, or maybe you, like many before us, have felt that subtle tug towards something beyond. Today, we're not talking science or self-help trends. We're peeling back the layers and stepping into the ancient, uncharted territory of mystical consciousness. What is consciousness, really? Ask a mystic and they won't just say, it's awareness. No, for them, consciousness is the very fabric of existence, the invisible thread weaving everything together. Take Hindu philosophy. It speaks of Brahman, the ultimate reality, not a being or a god in the usual sense, but an infinite, pulsing consciousness that holds the stars, your heartbeat, and that awkward memory from high school, all in the same breath. Or listen to the whispers of Christian mysticism. Saints like Teresa of Avila didn't just believe in God, they experienced divine presence like a living fire in the soul. She described it as a journey inward, through chambers of silence and surrender, to a place where nothing existed except love and unity. Sound poetic? Maybe. But to those who've tasted it, it's more real than anything you can touch. How do you get there? Spoiler alert. You don't need incense, Himalayan retreats, or chanting under a full moon, unless you're into that. What you do need is this: a willingness to turn the volume down on the world and listen. Across every culture, mystics have found ways to quiet the mind and stretch beyond the ego. In Sufism, there's dhikr, a rhythmic remembrance of God that can lift you into states of joy so intense they feel like flight. Buddhist monks meditate for hours, sometimes days, not to escape reality but to dissolve into it, to become so still, so present, that the line between me and everything else just disappears. These practices aren't exotic relics, they're tools. Tools that sharpen awareness, deepen compassion, and pull back the curtain on who we really are. So, what happens when you break through? You might not see fireworks. Sometimes it's as quiet as a breath. But inside, everything shifts. Mystical experiences often trigger a profound sense of unity, a knowing that we're not alone, not separate, not meaningless. Imagine feeling at home in the universe, no longer chasing purpose but embodying it. That's the power of going inward. Even modern psychology is catching up. Therapists and neuroscientists now recognize that these states, once called woo-woo or out there, can lead to lasting personal growth, healing, and emotional resilience. Transformation, not hallucination. But what about the world we live in? Let's face it, today's world is noisy. We're glued to screens, buried under deadlines, and suffocating in expectations. It's easy to forget there's a deeper rhythm underneath the chaos. But mystical traditions remind us to pause, to breathe. They teach that in the middle of this madness, there's stillness waiting for us, like a secret garden just behind the noise. Even simple practices, mindfulness, journaling, walking barefoot on the earth can reconnect us to that space. It doesn't take robes or rituals, it just takes presence. You don't have to be a monk. This path isn't reserved for saints or sages, it's for anyone who's willing to ask deeper questions, anyone who's tired of surface-level living, anyone who's ready to feel more alive. Next time you sit under a tree or stare up at the night sky, don't just look, listen. Something ancient is always speaking. The mystical path begins not in temples, but in moments like these. Final thought. The wisdom of mystical traditions, across continents, languages, and centuries, echoes the same truth. When we turn inward, we don't shrink, we expand. We discover a reality where love, peace, and meaning aren't found, they're remembered. Thanks for walking this path with me. If something stirred inside you while reading this, don't ignore it, follow it. And hey, if this resonated, feel free to like, share, or subscribe. Not for me, for the next person wondering if there's more to life than what meets the eye.